Hello, finance, business, personal finance students. We are going to talk about a very interesting subject today, and we are going to learn about calculator. Oops, I don't know why I wrote Schwab. www.financecalculator.net. This is a site we are going to use significantly from now on. One of the ones is about auto loan calculator. And this is what I want you to do. I'll show you the assignment and it is on the discussion post. And imagine that you wanted to buy a Toyota. Here is the Toyota I found in Morgantown, and the price is $48,951. And I want to go and see how the financing for this car would look like if I only have $2,000 of down payment and how much I have to pay. I come here and I click on auto loan calculator. This is for someone that wants to buy a car for $50,000 and wants to pay in 60 months. 60 months means 5 years. When the interest rates are at 5%, the person wants to put 10% down payment and doesn't have a trade-in. That means he or she doesn't take his or her old car, and the person is buying in a state of West Virginia, maybe the sales tax is 5%. And of course, also, you know that when you buy a car, there are fees like title, registration, and other fees, which is around $2,900. And then when we do calculation for this $50,000 car, and we say calculate here, what will happen is what you see in here is you are borrowing $40,000. Why 40,000? Is because you are putting $10,000 down and the price of the car is $50,000. And also the sales tax is $3,000. Where does this $3,000 come from? Is because sales tax is 6%. If I multiply this 6% by 50,000, 6 times 5 is 36% of 50,000, because 6 times 5 is 30. That's where $3,000 comes from. And your upfront payment, that means this is the cash that you have to come up with. Where does it come from? $10,000 here you have to pay. Then you have to pay the $2,900 fees, and then you have to pay the 6% tax. If you add all of them, if I put here, it tells, if you add all of these, it comes to, $15,900. That's a down payment you have to come. And then, therefore, because out of that amount, you are gonna to, you have total of 60 loan payment, which is $290.96, and the interest that you will be charged, because the interest rate is at, as you see, 3%. Therefore, the car is going to cost you altogether $61,000. And as you all know, this amount, would be the price of the car, which is 50,000. Interest that you pay, which is, you know what it is this amount. Taxes that you pay is this 3,000, and fees that you pay, which is this, you add them together, it becomes $61,000. Then we come here, that is called amortization table. During first year, when you pay your payments, in fact, your payments every month is calculated, and it is $754.85. When you come here, during the first year, you pay those $700 every day. Therefore, that is when you pay for 1 year of that, payment. Out of that, you will be paying $7,000 for the principal and around $1,800 for the interest that comes from the 12 checks during first year that you pay your monthly payment. At the end of the year, the ending balance would be $32,000. That means you owe the bank 32,000 at the end of 5 years when you pay all your payments, 12 payments you pay at the end of the year, last year, final year. It will be when you pay your payments every month, the total payments in 12 months. Out of that, only $200 of it goes for the interest, and the rest of it reduces the principal, and then you owe zero after 5 years. Look at the first year, how much interest of the money that you paid, how much of it goes for the interest. But on the final year, because you owe little money, you only, on fourth year, you only owe 8,000. That's where this number comes from. But this is annual. But in real term, it's good we look at monthly. I click here, monthly. And this is what happens. When you paid your first payment of 700 something, out of that, $166 goes for the interest, and this is the principal. Therefore, the $40,000 that you borrowed dropped to $39,000. That means that little bit of it, is reduced, and this is end of first year. And then this is after 5 years, 60 payments, and here is after 5 years. This is what the calculator of the, created. But in your case, as you know, regarding this Toyota, the situation is different. Imagine you find your favorite car, and it is $42,000. I'll put 42. Then you want to pay it rather than 65 years, you want to pay it for 4 years. 4 years means 4 times 12 is 48 months. The interest rate, the dealer tells you it is 7%. I put 7%. The down payment, you don't have 10,000. You only have 2,000. And now you say to calculate, and I click calculate, and here it is. But still, do you see, upfront payment is $7,000 you have to come up. Why? Because $2,000 is the down payment for the dealer, but you still have 6% taxes or also $2,900 fees. You talk to the bank and say, is there any way that you pay for the, you pay for the fees and the interest, but increase my loan, because the loan that you wanted to get was 40,000. Why 40,000? Because the car was 42,000. You were going to pay $2,000 of it. You wanted to pay 40,000, but you tell the bank, sorry, I don't have, to pay for this fee here, and I don't have to pay this 6%. Can you include with your loan? The bank might say, if your credit is good, they will include it. They say, I click include, and I click calculate. When it does that, then the bank in this term gives you $45,000 of the loan. It pays the dealer, $40,000, and then you are paying $2,000 the dealer, and then the sales tax and upfront money. In this case, you only pay because you only had $2,000, which means in this case you are borrowing more. Therefore, you have, in this case, your payment, do you see, it's not 700 anymore. It is 1,087, because the bank is going to pay the, title fee and all, the registrations and all those things. And then in this case, you will be paying $2,000 of, payments, and out of that, and you will be paying interest, and the total cost to you will be $54,000. The actual price of the car was $42,000, but you had to pay the interest. You had to pay, you put $2,000 here. You paid this, and therefore the total cost will be $54,000. Now, let's say after here is annual. I click here, and it changes to this much. Now the question is that after 1 year, imagine your uncle gives you a check and say, go and pay off your car loan. Do you see here the car loan here? What happens after 12 months, which is 1 year, you only owe 30, this is your payoff balance, ending balance. You only owe 35,000. And if you pay this $35,000, you owe this car. After I did this calculation, I want you to do the same thing. Go and find your favorite car, which is here, and then anywhere you want. After you find it, you go and, I copied everything. When I came here to this calculator, I did here, I highlighted this, and then I came here, and then I came all the way, highlighted all the way through, maybe here, not more, because if I highlight more, when I try to post it on the discussion board doesn't allow me to post this one because it's too much information at the bottom, and it doesn't, the Brightspace doesn't like you. We all post a lot of things on the Brightspace. It wants limited. Therefore, I did that, and first I transferred everything to Microsoft Word. Let me see where Microsoft Word is. This is here it is. I opened Microsoft Word, and what I did, I put that table here. Do you see that? What I did is that I went here. Where is that calculator? It is here. I went there and I put highlighter here, and from here to all the way I came here and up to here, and I right-clicked and clicked copy. Then I went to Microsoft Word and clicked here, and I clicked paste. And look at here. It pasted everything, and it even pasted that table. However, do you see end of first year? However, I didn't put everything here, and later I'm going to put this in Brightspace. However, I want you to do one thing. I want you, when you find your car in the car dealership, if you could paste the link in here. Do you see here? I found the car dealership here. I clicked this link and I clicked copy. I copied it. That way we can look at to see what kind of car you want to buy. Then I pasted here. That is the car. Then I came here and I put the summary here. That way I typed it, I put it first in Microsoft Word. I want to make sure you understand what we are doing. I put that I need the 42,000. Imagine the price of the car was 48. I just put it 42. I said, I want to buy a car. The price of the car is $42,000. And do you remember I said, I want to pay 48 payments. Here it is. Let me show you. Here it is. I put 48 payments. Do you see? It is here. I changed the interest rate. I said the dealer these days charge 7%. And I put you put your favorite, whatever you have for your down payment. If you have a car you want to put trade-in, put it there, doesn't matter. But explain it here that I had a car for trade-in. And then I noticed that, the taxes are 6%, and did I get this number? It was right from here, as you see, this 20, I had to put 2,900, fees and registration. Then I came and said the total loan that I am borrowing is this much, and I put it all in here. Put it the total loan I am getting, and the total amount, and the amount of financing, 44,900. Let me make sure I put it. The total amount of, financing is that, total amount of loan payment is here. Suppose I can put this one here. Let's look at here. I come here. Total amount of loan is this much. This was a little bit different because I had used another car. And that's why you see my numbers are a little different. But I want you also to highlight it. The purpose of highlighting it is also you want to emphasize that you understood these things, what is happening to you, what this number is. This means I am borrowing $40,000. No, I am not borrowing $40,000 from the bank. I am borrowing, let me correct it. As I said, I put the old numbers. Therefore, the what I am borrowing total loan amount is 45,000 I am borrowing from the bank. And here it is, my car was cheaper, 42. Here you go. I come here, and that means I am borrowing $45,000 from the bank. And I am going to highlight it, that how much I am borrowing. Here you go. And I make the font a little bit bigger for you. And then after I do that, I highlight the whole thing in here. And I don't highlight this part, the bottom part. And then after I highlight it here, I go to bright space. Here it is. I go to bright space and I went here. And here is this week. Let's see. I come here. Financial calculator. I clicked here. And I created new thread. And then I put something and I pasted here. Whatever I had done, look at here. They all pasted here. And even I pasted I pasted this for you as an attachment. Let me show you. I close this and I click, that's fine. I click save. And then I click yes. And then I click upload. And I put my Word document that I highlighted. And I scroll down and, and then I find it and I attach that Word document and I click post. After I do that, if you come here, you will be able to, here you go, cancel. You will be able to see my posting. I click yes, and let me see, cancel. Okay, if I click here, you will see my posting here. You will see the car that I want to buy, whatever I need to borrow, and my total financing. Unfortunately, when I clicked copy and paste, it copied extra thing in here, which is not any problem. That's okay. You will see that, my monthly payment, it is copied from here. Look here, the financial calculator, which was here, it copied it from here. Do you see monthly payment is here? It copied it here. And then it shows my total amount I am borrowing, my taxes, everything. And then if you scroll down, let me go back again. I don't know why the screen came. Let me click here. And then if you look at everything is there. And then even the attachment is there. Do you see I attached my Word document? I want you to go to the website and you will see it. It is listed very easily. And I want you to do the same thing and post it on the discussion board for the students to see what kind of car you are buying and show me. It shows that you understood how that financial calculator is working. And when I click here, you will see this, my posting, and you will see how much. And then I added something for amortization. I said, if after this 12 months, if I want to pay off, imagine you suddenly inherit a lot of money from your great-grandfather, gives you a lot of money, you decide to go and pay off your car. You say that after 12 months, if you want to pay off your loan, this is the amount that I have to pay. It came from amortization of monthly schedule, not annual, monthly. And then I attached the Word document in here. If I click there, you will see that this is a Word document that I highlighted and the students can see. I want you to go ahead and do this exercise. We want to learn about this calculator and we want to make sure the dealer is not cheating you. The reason I say that is suddenly if the bank is cheating you, you can go and use the calculator. You go to another bank. You say that, okay, my payment is $1,087 a month. I cannot afford it. Rather than going to that bank, you go to another bank, for example. The purpose of learning this calculator is that you change your interest rate. Another bank comes and says they want to charge you 4% rate. And then because you don't have that much, money, you want to finance it in 60 months. And then you click calculate. Do you see your payment drop to $86? This is the purpose of understanding this calculator. Or you might tell the bank, the dealer, I don't have $2,000 of down payment. Can I go with 1,000? Let me see. If I put 1,000, of course my payment goes a little bit up. I'll click there. Instead of 836, it becomes 854. By doing so, this amortization table here, a little changes. This is annual, this is monthly, and I want you, when you come here, read this as well to understand what it means, and you will learn a lot by reading this, notes, rebate, fees, what are these loan strategies, credit cards, payoff, how you can save, and I want you to click on these links. And one thing you might be wondering is, what is this one? This one is what you borrow in, after 60 months here. That blue line here from here drops to zero in here. And then here, the red payment is your payments that, you keep paying. It goes up and up and up. Do you see that? And then the green line is the interest that here, as you pay more and more, you are paying more interest, that when it comes to this point, that interest is right interest that you pay, 4,800. In my case, for this case, this is, if you look at here, it's around 4,800. I want you to become very familiar with this calculator, because this calculator applies to credit card, applies because the concept is similar, because in credit card you are borrowing 5,000, and your credit card you have $10,000 of you owe. Therefore you want to pay your credit card in 60 months, and the interest rate of the credit cards is 53. But the credit card has its own calculator, and that calculator is better, even if this can be used. Let's say you want to go borrow money to buy a house, for example. A house is 100,000. You want to borrow 100,000. You want to pay 30 years. 30 years is 360 months. The interest rate is 4%. And the rate, what is that called? The down payment, you want to pay $5,000 of down payment, and there is not any trading for cars. And then maybe there is a 2% taxes, and here you don't have the some kind of fees, and you can calculate. But this calculator is specifically nicely, although it can give you the information. When you click, do you see your payment would be $262? You are wondering why on $100,000 your payment dropped to take $262, because you are paying in 30 years. In terms of car, it was only for 4 years. And here we had, 4% interest rate, and your down payment, by mistake, I put 50,000. Sorry, I had to put how much? 5,000. That's why your payment was so low. I click now calculate. Your payment would be 476. And therefore, and this will be your amortization. You will have a long amortization table because it is for 30 years. Do you see that? If I click here, it will go down all the way to 30 years. Means after 12 years, if you want to pay off your mortgage, this is what you have. For now, I want you to use this calculator to learn about the car. You do not need necessarily, because we have its own calculator for the house. Here you go, calculator.net. And then when I come here and more, amortization calculator, these are different loan calculator, mortgage, maybe you need mortgage calculator. We will talk about mortgage calculator. I give you another assignment. Once you do this calculator for the car loan, you will learn. It will be easy to learn about these calculators. And of course, these calculators have other interesting things. BMI is about health calculator, weight calculator, pregnancy calculator. We will talk about them, but our focus for now, because it is a financial course, tax calculator, we are going to go through these, the statements and all these things, and to learn about all of these. These are so good. If you learn, you save so much money. You know, if your bank is cheating you, credit card, car dealer, they are, trying to be smart on you, retirement calculator. I want you to learn this calculator, at least for this auto loan calculator, as much as you can, because on these ones you spend only a few minutes when I give you an assignment. For now, the goal is to understand what is happening in here. I want you to do that, post it on the discussion board, and one thing I want you to do as a finance student, as a business student, as an accounting student, you want to be smart. And as I said, I usually don't buy new cars. I buy used cars that have as many as 20, 30,000 mileage. If you can afford I usually buy Japanese car. However, you might need a truck. I'm American, Ford truck. Go and buy it. But make sure car is not as much of a good investment as a house, because it depreciates significantly. Of course, house depreciates, but your car at the term of its life, the price doesn't go up when you are using it. But the house is different. The house, when you buy, hopefully it goes up. Stocks usually tend to go up, but there are certain things that go down in value. One of them is car. Therefore, you have to be careful when you invest in cars. You have to make a lot of solid decisions. I usually don't. I buy good cars, but I am very careful when I buy cars. I have to take into consideration the insurance, to consideration taxes, repairs, and all of these come to my mind when I buy cars. I have to think about how much gas I drive a lot. Therefore, buying a car has a lot to do, more than just going. Many people, I see a lot of students make a mistake. They just go to the dealership, see a very nice, expensive truck. They pay $60,000, $50,000. As soon as they bring it off the dealership, I drive it for 1 month. But let me assure you, if you take it to the same dealership, they don't buy it more than $40,000. You drove it for 1 month. The same dealership or other dealerships, the same car that you paid $50,000 and you put only 3,000 miles on it in 1 month or 2 months, you bring it back and they say, oh, they want to buy it only for $38,000. That's how much you lose when the new cars depreciate. Therefore, then that's when the smart buyer they go and you buy the cars that have 10, 20,000, because that has already had a huge drop, in the price. Therefore, $15,000 is a lot of money, suddenly to pay extra for a new car. That's why suppose you always have to be careful when you buy things that depreciate and their values don't go up. And these are, when you borrow, usually you want to, make sure that the investment, of course, car is an important, thing. We should have a solid car. We should have a good car. It's much better than going and having if we have money we can afford, we shouldn't go and buy a junk car. Always we take it to mechanic and spend a lot of money. Therefore, you have to take a lot of research, use ChatGPT to find out what car would be best for you. And let me tell you, ChatGPT does this calculation as well. While I am here, let me, click on ChatGPT just to show you that it is going to, hello, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I want to buy a car for $42,000, pay back in 4 years. 4 years, interest are 4%. Interest is 4%, and I don't know fees and West Virginia's taxes. West Virginia taxes. Can you calculate my monthly payment it can suddenly go and calculate your monthly payment, the same thing that the calculator did. But my recommendation, try to learn the calculator. Although ChatGPT can get this price for you and give you some number, and here you go. This doesn't include West Virginia 6% taxes. Okay, okay, it says that my payment is for 900. I say that, can you show me fees and amortization, the amortization table or schedule. Here you go, and suddenly you might see it will come up with all the fees that you need, and it can come up with all the schedule, and it is analyzing. Suddenly it is, here is the amortization table, and I don't like these zeros. Do you see it is a big number? Please, I don't want I don't want pennies. Eliminate them, delete them, delete them. And let's see if it understood what I said, because those small numbers are crazy and I don't want it makes it confusing. And here you go. Look at here. The first payment, which was $1,014, $865 goes for principal, $150 goes for, and I can download it. Don't forget, ChatGPT downloads it. If I click here, when I download it, I can download it to Excel and do my calculation there. I want you to understand the power of ChatGPT, and this is after 4 years, my final payment for the 8 permit when I pay $114. Therefore, ChatGPT can create exactly the same things that calculator created. But for now, I want you to use that calculator. Post it there. I want to see you have learned. This is a very important assignment because we are going to focus on this calculator regularly. I post this video on the discussion board as well. For those of you who don't get this email, you will get this, on the discussion board as well.